Hi guys, Yumi here. So, in this video, we're gonna talk about how to connect spirituality with trauma things. So, the ego stuckness things with spirituality. I'm nothing with I am this so strongly. Looks like two separate different things. Are they though? It's their connection? What is their connection? So, example. Why this applies may matter to you. So, example, you are a human living in this planet Earth. And then something happened. It hurts. I'm so triggered. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? People usually do these three things. One, I've been into spirituality for a long time. I've been practicing. I'm a seeker. I'm, you know, aware. So I am not that. I am not my thoughts. I am not my reactions. And I notice that and I detach from that. And life keeps going. Then what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is that you may face that trigger again. Unless you become like enlightened person, as probably Eckhart Tolle may have, which is unlikely. And I'm not denying the possibility. Everybody has that possibility. But until then, do you want to keep experiencing the same trigger over and over again? When you have the possibility to not be triggered by it, or at least not at that strength again, with a little bit of work that might be uncomfortable, but possible. But no, many times people go into spirituality and end up bypassing it, bypassing that they are human, that they have emotions, that they have mind nerve system things that I wire strongly, bypassing it, dismissing it, just trying to be aware. I'm nothing, I'm meditating. It's not me, it's not. While you keep experiencing the same trigger over and over again. Is it an effective way to live? Is it the way you want to live? Again, if you're gonna be like a very enlightened person, then it would not happen like that, right? You will not be treated in the same way anymore. But most of the times, many people are just bypassing or generally practicing it and being like, yes, I am not that, but I'm noticing my body's being so triggered. So my question to you is, if you're noticing all these uncomfortable sensations, do you want to keep feeling those uncomfortable sensations, those emotional pains? Or and be observing it, or not even feel it, or feel it in that intensity again, because that is possible. So as long as you are actually aware of what you're doing and you're not bypassing, and it's actual conscious awareness, then it's a very, I think it's, your own choice, but we don't exist. Okay, so that's about it, the spiritual part. So that is one way that people may face when they get triggered. Second way, where do I have to listen to all these things what you say? Because after you listen to this, you'll have more clarity naturally, without trying, and be able to be more mindful in what you are doing. Be more free, because when you see things clearer, you become more free without even trying. And that would allow you to feel better in yourself, more whole, and just, you probably will feel like you have a better quality of life. And things that have been hurting so much are finally shifting. So, second thing that people tend to do, reject it. I'm feeling this is happening. No, this is not happening. No. They may say, they may not say, but actions they are taking is that avoiding. Maybe it is, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to feel it, I don't want to see it, I don't want to observe it, and taking actions against it, which could be distracting yourself with something, and can also be as simple as, yes, I am aware, and I'm feeling my emotions, but you are resisting your emotions. So that is also resisting. And the other way, the last way, is doing the trauma work, the shadow work. And then, what is the danger? What you have to be careful to not be too identified with that shadow self. Fine, you are the shadow self too, you are that inner child too, but you are also that divine source energy. Even beyond God, you are the source energy. So all of that exists simultaneously. Yes, you are that egoic shadow, the wounded child, but also you are the supreme, divine, powerful, limitless source energy. So when you do too much trauma work, when there's a danger that you get too identified and you get stuck, and that's the point where people ended up being like, trauma work never ends, I keep healing, and it's like, how many years I've been doing it, and nothing gets really good enough. I still feel trapped by it. But the thing is that everything can coexist, and taking into consideration that we are, most of us, just common human beings with common patterns. Not to diminish it in any way, but we have very similar patterns, and we are holding all at the same time. So working with trauma does not make you any less special, any less spiritual. It is spiritual, because what is spiritual? It's being here. And if here you have the trigger, in here you have the emotions, then work with it, embrace it, right? And that is what they're trying to do with trauma work, shadow work. So how can we connect without being too identified, but also looking into the story and allowing yourself to be that child, to be that version of you that still exists, that was so hurt, without losing sight of that you are source energy? What connects it? What connects it? What do you think connects it? Yes, you're right. Now, this moment, because both is happening in this moment. The mind story, when you start to think about something, analyzing something, or even bypassing spiritually, you are out of here, because here there cannot really, those intentional thoughts cannot really exist here. It's clean, it's silent, it's fresh, it's new. So what do I mean by everything is connected here, and how can we live from there? How can we integrate it from here? Your emotions. So these are the steps. You're living la la la, or maybe no la la la, and then something happens, triggers you. If it's really bad, in that moment, you don't need to analyze, you don't need to bypass. Notice at your physical sensations. So let's do it together. Imagine you are in that situation. Now stop. Notice your physical sensations. Then, by physical sensations, what is going on in your body, including your mind, your brain. So what may be happening is like something is happening, something happened, you got triggered, then there is like, oh, it hurts, and this story like, I don't like it, this is bad, it shouldn't be this way. All of these resisting stories of why that is bad, what that hurts. Notice the stories, notice your sensations. The story is resistance. Now is love, is wholeness, so there's no space for resistance. Resistance is a way that ego shows up. It's not surrender, it's not acceptance, it's fighting. That is ego. That is not your ultimate safe. Ultimate safe. That is not, I'm not saying that is bad, because your inner child, that shadow self, let's keep it inner child, because it's like we don't want to make it like it's just a baby, and we don't make it like you're a shadow and it's dark, and it's not. So it's just a baby, and then it's trying to survive. It's just wants love, just trying to survive. So it's telling all these stories in order to survive, because it's painful and all of that. So notice a resistance. The stories itself is a resistance towards what is happening, right? So we're gonna notice a story and drop it. Yes, I notice I've been having all these stories, but I'm gonna drop it. Drop, 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 drop. Then what is left? It's a sensation. Then notice that a little bit more, the sensation intensifies. Now, what's gonna happen? Next layer of resistance would be like, I don't want to feel this. It hurts too much. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. The ego feels like it's gonna die, because it will, partially. And it may feel like it's too much pain for your body. And if it's actually too much and dangerous, stop it. But otherwise, if it's just fear, allow it. Because something that I notice in people that happen is that they don't allow it to go all in out of fear, and because the emotion, the energy that was coming intensely got stopped, they become more sick. So if you're gonna do this, go all in. If not, be careful. So you might be able to notice if it's safe to feel in everything or not, because some doctors who work with body will tell you little by little, and others who do holistic things would tell you just do it all at once. And I'd say it may depend on the person's capacity, so you see how it is for you. But going back to the stages, so the first stage, you notice a story, drop the resistance by dropping the story. Now you are just with the sensations and notice. So that was the first layer of resistance. The second layer of resistance is you notice the resistance that you have towards the sensation itself. Drop it. It feels bad. Yeah, I don't want. Drop. Then what is left? An even more overwhelming, intense sensation. So notice where it is. Put your hand there. Feel it. You may notice that emotions are coming, and even stories, information about it may come. Maybe it's something that happened in your past. Connect with that. It is naturally coming up without you looking for it. Excuse me. So connect with that and let yourself feel. And by allowing yourself to feel, the more you keep doing it, the more you build capacity to feel and to do this practice. And there is where it connects the emotions with you being spiritual source energy, because it's now. And when you do this work, many things would come about the past. Maybe if you're doing alone, it might be difficult to point it out the stories. And you can even use AI, but if you are not familiar enough with this kind of patterns and work, it can brainwash you, guide you in not the best healthy accurate way, so you gotta be careful. So maybe work with a person if you can. I'm here if you want to. um yeah, so when you go to trauma, you see the shadow road. Let's say you're seeing a pattern. There's a core trauma pattern that has been leading you, controlling your whole life. There is a core thing, and from that core thing, so back to what we were saying. So we started a video with how to do the spiritual thing and the trauma thing and be healed and all of that. So the solution is by connecting with your emotions without resistance purely. Now, from here to the end of the video, we're gonna look into the trauma side, the architecture, how it works. So this trauma thing, usually there is one core thing, and from that core thing, which in other words is a core belief that got generated in order to survive. In other words, that's an identity that you built. So you're living under that identity, which is like a rule. For example, if you feel like, I am helpless, something happened and you felt helpless, then the rule of your word is I am helpless. That's your identity, and that is the rule that your word must fit, because at some point, very early on, you learn that you have more chances to survive if you are helpless, if you are staying that limited self, than allowing yourself to expand. So you keep yourself in the known because you know how bad it could be. So the body prefers that, the mind prefers that. You feel safer. It feels like you have more chances to survive, as I said. So there is this core identity, and from that core identity, many small identities. For example, I'm not enough, I'm not worth it. It may depend on the person, but many things comes out. And so when you find this core one, you would notice that so many things, all the things in your life that was a problem, painful experiences, traumatic experiences, were connected to that. It's like a chain in some way. So you saw this, you see this, you feel this, you kind of dissolve it, then it's like, all the things, my view has changed. Now all the things that I couldn't do before, now what can I do? Why can I do it? It's so natural. I was trying with force so hard. It wasn't working. And now that I saw it, that I felt it, things are like, it's just naturally happening. So you go kind of from force to flow, which is my program name. Well, I may change it, but I'm not trying to do like, promotion or anything, just really funny. So this core thing, right? And something that people have in common. They may have different core wounds, but what is there in common is that it's about survival. What does it mean? That they feel safer. They feel safer. So it's safety. When a person feels love, do they feel safe or do they feel unsafe? They feel safe, right? So what I noticed digging is that it's not just survival, it's not just safety. What we are desperately in need of, scared of, is love. We want love. And as an adult, you may think, yeah, I know I'm lovable. I've been saying it so many times, all my affirmations, like I know it. Logically, I know it, of course. I'm worth it, I'm enough, I'm lovable. But when you say that, is there any part of you that is not actually open enough, that there's some tightness? Because if there is, it means that there's a part of you that didn't feel love, that you're not seeing it, and that part is not acknowledged yet, that part is not seen yet. Because it's very painful seeing you're a baby, you're a toddler, and feeling like I'm not getting the love I need. That doesn't mean you didn't get love, but love means different for each person. So just because you got love, it doesn't mean it was the love that you needed. And imagine seeing a toddler, a baby, that doesn't know anything. Life is happening and it feels like, it hurts. I'm feeling like they may not have felt it consciously, but unconsciously, I'm not loved? Is there something wrong with me? I feel sad. It hurts. So I adapt in this way and that way and that this way. So it may sound cliche, and if you don't see your own pattern, it may be difficult to connect with it. And I wasn't even supposed to talk about it. I wasn't thinking what I'm going to talk about in this video, whatever comes out. But I want to tell you, what I want to tell you is that if you are struggling with certain triggers that keep repeating, traumas, wounds, that you feel stuck, no matter how much trauma work you do, no matter how much spiritual work you do, then I want you to consider that. So, two things. One, I want you to consider that there are ways that you can go into that, connect to that, and that when you connect to that, you will see that it's love. Survival, safety, love. And you may have heard this many times, but when you see it, that the depth that it will have will be different. And it'll be very shocking, destabilizing, but you get through it, and a version of yourself that you didn't even know was possible may be possible. So don't give up. There's still hope. There is still a chance. That's one thing. And the other thing is, what connects spirituality with trauma is now. And drop the resistance. How do we drop? Two layers. One, the mind. I don't want this event. All the resistance you have towards that event. Drop it. Then you notice the physical sensations getting stronger. And then notice the opinions, the thoughts about the physical sensation. Drop it too. Then you see the physical sensation. Ooh! Then connect to that. Put your hand there, connect to that, and see what comes out. And feel it. And some magic may happen. I'm not kidding. It's real. So I hope this video has helped in some way. Sending much love. Bye!